Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how to find a reversal quicker than any Fairvalley Gap will ever find you. This is called candle counting. I need you guys to watch to the end so you guys can find out my A+ setup that I use for entries daily. So let's get in this video by trying to identify why we want to trade candle counting at edges instead of a Fairvalley Gap. First thing is, what if there is no Fairvalley Gap? If we're trying to trade this inverted Fairvalley Gap, we have to wait for price to be below that inverted Fairvalley Gap. That's going to take so long, and by the time that happens, that's already probably 50 to 60 ticks, but you're missing out on a move. So what if I could say that we can try and trade edges of a range and then turn that into an entry model? So let's get forward. We have an edge at every single range. An edge for us is just a wick that is around 25% the size of the body. It has to be a larger size of a wick. Like you'll have these little tiny wicks, but they're sometimes supported by larger wicks from previous time. So what we are going to be looking for right now is only to trade when price gets to one of these two edges, because everything inside of these two edges, we are going to be counting as liquidity. And if we get to these edges and we find our candle count, that is a confirmation for price to reverse. Firstly, we're also going to be firstly seeing the reversals from the candles itself, other than a Fairvalley Gap. This is why we want to trade the candle counting and not the Fairvalley Gaps. We're going to see the reversals first. So let's get into it. Let's find out what is candle counting. How are we going to try and trade this? So looking at our first example of price coming to this top edge, what do we see? So we see the first candle that came into that edge. Not looking at these just touched the bottom edge. They never went back into it. So we're looking for price to react out of this edge, not close above it, but out of it. Okay. So what's the first indication that will show that price is reversing? It's going to be our candle count. So we have to find out what is candle 0, because we are looking for a candle count up until 3 candles of the original candle that touches the area of interest. So that area of interest was touched by this candle and it never got closed above. We can see every single candle stayed below that top wick that was created. Okay, this is going to become the original 0 candle. This is the candle that is supporting price right now. We can see that if we mark this out as retracement, this is where price is holding its ground. It's not closing above that wick. So this entire candle is now becoming that 0 candle. So once we close below that candle that is supporting price on our area of interest, we have an indication that price wants to continue in the other direction. So let's look at a few other examples. I know in that previous example, I didn't go through a specific example that the candle count confirmed within 3 candles of that original 0 candle. I'm going to be going through a base candle, and then I'm going to be going through how we can use a individual candle at an extreme of that base candle to try and find a reversal. So let's look at price at this accumulative zone. So what do we see? We see price is holding, but we need to find out what is it holding on. We have this candle that was created once we came to this edge at the bottom. So we're still reacting off of a previous profile's edge, okay? We're only trading from edge to edge. So once we came to that edge, we have this original candle that is the extreme of that reaction, but price failed to close below that original candle. So the same as this example, we have this as the base candle, and then we have it holding price, and then we have the count. We can have that same logic right here. We have this price holding on that bottom wick of this base candle. So what can we figure out from this? We can see that every single time price closed on either edge of this original candle, the free indicator that we will give to you guys in the Discord, it is called the MCR indicator. It marks out the candle count from this base candle every single time. It marks out every single base candle. While price moves on, it actually marks out these highs and lows and helps you identify where that candle count is going to be taking place. It's completely for free. Just join the Discord in the link down below. Okay, let's get back into this example that we're looking at right now. Once price closed below this base candle, we need to understand, is it still closing below this base candle, or is it closing below the original low that the base candle was reacting off of? So let's extend that low. Did we close below it? No. So yes, we did have a close below this original base candle, but it's not closing below the wick that is supporting price right now on the profile edge. So if that's the case, we can take that as candle 0, because now we're looking for the reversal. So we take that as candle 0, and now we look for within 3 candles. If we do get a close on the other side, it means a reversal is taking place from this candle that is failing to close below this previous profile's edge. So if this is candle 0 and we need a confirmation within 3 candles, let's start counting. 1, 2, 3. This third candle confirmed above the base candle. For us to confirm that price still wants to continue higher, once we closed above this base candle, we need to look at the wick that the original base candle was reacting off of. So it was reacting off of this wick at the bottom of this profile of New York AM. So if we just mark out that low, and then we mark out this high, actually mark out the high from right here from London, because that's the one that's supporting the high of New York AM. See, we're just trying to get the edges. What can we see? We can see that the moment that price confirmed above this edge, where are we trading towards? We're trading to edge to edge. So this is how we're going to get our take profit. If we were reacting off of the bottom of a previous edge, we're trying to trade to the top or the opposite side of that edge that we're reacting off of. I'm now going to be showing you guys an A+ setup that you guys can use daily on the 1 minute time frame for your entries. So on the 15 minute, you should have already identified an area of interest that your price can react off of. Usually that is when an MCR opens above or on top of an edge. You can kind of tell yourself that this entire MCR is being supported by this previous profile's edge. So if that's the logic of just using that and the previous day 1800, the 1800 of our day being above, so we're looking for buys, we're looking for price to react off of this previous profile edge to go to the areas of interests that we have marked previously, which would be previous profile highs, acting as drawn liquidity for price. So let's hop down to the 1 minute and see what we can use just blindly to try and find a trade. So we're looking for candle counts, but specifically a candle count that is being confirmed with a doji. We are going to be finding dojis almost at every single pivot. So we see here we have a doji. I'm just marking out the lows and the highs of some of them. Here we have a doji at the pivot at the top here. We have a doji at the pivot at the top here. Here we have another doji at this pivot. And then we have another doji at this pivot. You're going to find dojis almost at every single pivot. So we have doji right here, a doji right here. Let's see if we find any more. We have one that price closed above, reacted off of, created more dojis to continue price. Once we went and reacted back from the previous edge, we created more dojis to confirm the reversal. So we're pretty much confirming reversals with dojis. Let's mark out that previous edge again. Get back to this 1 minute and then identify how we could have traded this. So let's get back to London session that is reacting off of this previous profile's edge. And we are going to be trading every single candle count in the direction of a buy, reacting from this edge that is confirmed with a doji. So we're going to mark out this doji once we reacted. How many candles did it take for price to confirm above this doji? 2. So we're in the parameter of a candle count confirmation. So if we had a buy, trading back into our London MCR, if we have standard deviation, I'm just going to run this real quick. We expect reversals back into the range up until our 1.5. So this entire area is our area for reversals. So we're just going to make this a retracement as well and just remove the standard deviation so it's not too confusing. So we're going to be looking for trades of buy from this London MCR between this box. So we see price touching this box, we create our doji, we have our candle count, and then we trade towards our London MCR. If you didn't take break even, you probably got it stopped out. But let's look at the next reaction from this box. Did we create a doji? Yes, we did. So let's mark out this doji. And you'll find that these dojis come before the candle count, because what the doji is there for is to support the stop loss that you're going to be using on the candle count. Because look at what price is doing. It is confirming above that doji. It is reacting back into that doji. And then it's giving us the candle count. Because remember, this candle is supporting price. No candle closed below it. So this is the base candle. So until price closes above that candle, as you can see on the MCR indicator, no candle is green until we close above it, because that's the base candle. We closed above all of these dojis when we confirmed above the base candle. So these dojis are all there to support your stop loss. If you guys found this video helpful, please drop a like and comment down below anything that you guys learned today. I will also leave our community Discord in the description down below, where you can find the indicator that I used today. And you guys will also find a Notion link that will teach you everything about MCR for free down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Candle Theory. Cheers.